Welcome to the Big Three, where we get to talk about this week's sermon from North Boulevard Church of Christ in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. People behind us are so excited. We don't know what's going on back there, but we're going to take questions and make observations from you and me and John. And this week's very special guest, my favorite human, Brent Rosser.
That's me. Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here.
Just in time for Wife Appreciation
Just
Day.
in time.
All right.
We like to celebrate privately.
Okay, we're on week 3 of Audacious Identity.
Yeah.
And so here's my quick summary. This one's kind of hard to summarize, I think, but because there was a lot of things in there. But I'm going to say my summary is, be prepared to give an answer when our kids say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad.
Yes.
How did we get from here to there? Or what does that mean? Or when we take communion, why are we doing that? Or why when we're baptized, why do we do it like that? Like what did these symbols remind us of? And they remind us of the goodness and the greatness of God.
So good. Yeah, it was about remembering a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
so
he had
good.
us then, and he's got us now.
I love it. All right, well, we're going to go around and share some highlights. Maybe he just spoke. So let's start with you, old Brent.
Okay.
Tell us, what was something from the sermon that just really stuck with you?
So a couple weeks ago in our small group, this was your idea, we printed off God's promises in the Bible.
100 of them.
And there was pages and pages and pages of God's promises. And I thought about that during the sermon today, that this was a culmination, and it took a while, a culmination of part of God's promise to the Israelites that they were going to get to that promised land. And I just love thinking about all the promises that God makes in Scripture.
Yeah.
Every single time He fulfills that promise. And it's just really comforting to have that confidence in a God that we worship, that He fulfills His promises, and the promises are always good.
Yeah, and as you're sharing that, in my head, I'm singing "Standing on the Promises" right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, and there are a lot of promises in Scriptures that are for someone specific. You know, they're not necessarily for us in 2025, but there are so many of them that translate to us today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we read a few of them with our small group, and we talked through them a little bit, and they were really good.
Yeah,
well, he talked about
powerful.
You know, they're raising money for Eastern European missions to buy Bibles. You know, when we look at the Bible, like, you know, Mom, Dad, what does this mean? These stories mean that just as He was faithful to all of these people, He's going to be faithful to the Rossers, to the Magnusons, to whoever's watching. He's going to be faithful to us today just as He was then.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that. What about you, John? What's something you're going to be stewing on today from the sermon?
Okay, well, I think it's really neat, the way that, well, the story he told, that tradition suggests that Jesus was baptized in the same spot where the Israelites went from there to here. They crossed over the Jordan, and we cross over that what separates us from the promised land through baptism. And so just really cool to think about that. I've actually gotten to go to that place, and it's really special just to imagine the way that God had, if that's true, if it's the exact same spot, that God had the story in mind from the very beginning.
That's right.
That just as Israel represented the kingdom, now followers of Jesus represent the kingdom. Pretty cool. Nice bookends for the whole Bible.
I mean, isn't it crazy to think about how many people they were moving to?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we were talking about this not too long ago, too. Just, I can't even fathom millions of people traveling together.
Walking.
Walking.
They're not loading up their cars or U-Hauls.
I can't even imagine.
Kids and animals
I can't think of anything even to compare it, like a modern kind of thing where we say, well, I bet it was kind of like that. I can't even think what we compare it to.
It's just amazing what God did for them. I think what you guys said was a lot of what I wrote down, but I also wrote down how he talked about passing on faith to the next generation is high on God's list. And I tell you what, that Gavin, I love that kid. And so he is one that we have seen, because I do a lot with our children's ministry when I get to, and watching him and his brothers and his sister like move their way through and up into the youth group and stuff and beyond. And when he showed his little button with Boulevard Kids, I got teared up. It was so sweet. Yeah. And just that he proudly, because you know how many 18-year-olds proudly would put something out there like that, but he proudly, and it's like he's inviting people, ask me about my childhood growing up in the church, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. And so I just appreciate his parents. They've done such a good job of passing on their faith to that generation, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Be a part of it. I love it. Even if you don't have physical children of your own, there is a way for you to be a part of what is happening in the next generation. Like, get involved.
I just love that we all get to be part of the story of God.
I do too.
We're just living smack in the middle of it. It continues today. And
what a blessing.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
All right, guys, if you have any more questions that you'd like for us to discuss, you can use the QR code that you see on the screen. Maybe we'll be able to talk about them next week.
That's right. And if you want to rewatch the sermon or watch it for the first time, you can find it at boulevard.to/sermons. And that wraps up this week's Big Three.
That's
Now,
right.
that's actually a / just so you know.
Forward
It's just
slash,
we just say
back,
slash
just slash
around
it.
here. Just
If it
slash
doesn't
it.
work, do the other slash. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Don't bring your troubles to us. You'll figure it out. Thanks for being with us. Look for this podcast on your favorite platforms and be sure to join us next week for Boulevard's Big Three.